Everybody in the room knows this is an oversight investigation committee that's looking at high-risk insurance program. And I thought I would, before we start on that, a recent AP story just came out this morning indicating that your office has given out large sums of money under the early retiree health care program. You're familiar with that program?
I am.
And you were cited as the center of the person who was involved with this. And so we wanted to just in passing ask a few questions that it appears that a lot of corporations, including General Electric, got $36 million for their early retirees. Appears the United Auto Workers got over $200 million. Verizon Communications got $91 million. AT&T got $140 million. And so the list goes on, and it's a huge amount of money that you're giving out to subsidize retirees, early retirees. And I guess the question is, how can you justify giving out so much of taxpayers' money to these corporations?
Sure. Well,
these are profitable corporations.
The early retiree reimbursement program, in fact, has been an incredibly successful program in accomplishing the goals that it was set out to accomplish. The fact is that history has shown that the rate at which large companies are dropping coverage, insurance coverage for early retirees.
These are corporations that are profitable. And when you talk about AT&T and General Electric and Verizon Communications, United Auto Workers, why would they need taxpayers to subsidize them? And why you have Northrop Grumman, Boeing Company, the State Teachers Retirement System of Ohio. I mean, if this is a program, a healthcare program that's going to work, why would you be taking taxpayers' money and giving so much out to companies that are very successful and have a very good, profitable history?
Well, those companies are companies that, in fact, continue to offer retiree benefits, health benefits for early retirees.
But shouldn't they have the responsibility of taking care of that themselves, not ask for the taxpayers? I mean, basically giving them free money.
Well, the program allows them and positions them to continue to offer this critical benefit to early retirees, because I'll tell you, early retirees, folks that are between 50 and 65, when they're put out into the individual market, are the ones that are most at risk for not being able to get
Well, I understand
insurance.
that, but that was part of when they got to work for GE or AT&T or Verizon. This is part of the package they understood. I guess, are you going to give money out like this to all major corporations, all the unions, all the public employee retirement system? I mean, I think the point would be that you think this healthcare system that we passed, the Democrats passed, is so successful. Why in the flip are you giving out so much money of taxpayers so freely and overwhelming to companies that are very profitable?
Well, I'd respond with a couple points. First of all, there are a number of different types of recipients. Certainly state and local governments are also one of the main recipients, so that employees and retirees of state and local governments can continue to have retiree benefits.
Okay, but Mr. Larson, I have a statement from you. You said the overwhelming response to this program demonstrates exactly how broken the current health care system is, exactly why we needed reform in the first place. Is the reform you're talking about is taking taxpayers' money and giving out to successful, profitable corporation? Is that your definition of why we need a health care bill, the Democrat health care bill?
We think the program is successful because it has allowed these companies and state and local governments and nonprofits and commercials to continue to be able to offer coverage for early retirement.
Now, you followed the recent publicity with General Electric paying no taxes and the huge amount of money they paid. So, as I understand, you gave General Electric $36 million to help their early retirees. Do you think it was absolutely necessary that taxpayers fund early retirees for General Electric? Is that your position today?
Well, when a sponsor in the program receives the money, it must apply the money to the benefits that are received by the retirees, or to the costs that the company
Okay, I
incurs.
understand. My time's almost expired, but let me just move on to what we're here for also is the high-risk insurance program. Enrollment in the high-risk pool was supposed to be about 375,000 in the first year, according to the chief actuary of Medicare. Is that correct?
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Okay. you know, based upon what we've seen so little, as you saw in my opening statement, how can you justify this cost if you've only done so little at this point? Where are you going to get the money to do this high risk for everybody?
Well, it's been a fact across the country as states, and certainly for the federal high-risk pool, is that the pools are generally slow to start up. When the bill was passed, we devoted our efforts to standing the program up.
I'll just close by saying, if you've only got 12,000 in the program today, and you've indicated 375,000 people is your goal, and you spent this huge amount of money on 12,000, you won't possibly have enough money to do 375,000.
Well,
wouldn't you and I agree that you won't have the money to do 375,000 based upon just the 12,000 you've done?
I don't think, respectfully, we agree, because we have not spent a large amount of money on the program to date.
Okay. All right, my time has expired. The gentlelady from Colorado.